We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
White.
Yeah, and I'm Jeremy.
All right, there we go. So, what do you want to bring up straight out the beginning?
Straight off the top.
Out the get-go.
Out the gate.
Out of the gate, though.
It's funny though. It's like we're right out of the gate, but that's like horse racing stuff. It's still like common.
What's
like,
get-go then?
You made that up.
Get-go, right?
That's an insurance company.
That's gecko.
That's gecko.
We're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
My wife's not an idiot.
Dude, do you remember that time? All right. We may have talked about this on here before a long time ago.
I'm sure we have several times.
Yeah, but I like to repeat myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was 70, I would have one story for every episode, but I'm half
like
that
70
age.
people,
Yeah.
70s? People in their 70s, they're like, I've heard the story, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have a grandpa, but I'm told they tell stories.
If you did, if either of us had a grandpa, I have a dad that's pretty old.
We don't even have stories of a grandpa. So we don't have grandpa stories?
The one thing we had that was like technically our grandpa, we always called him Mom's dad because he was like a dick. But we never really knew.
He never got the, what's it called?
He never earned the title.
Yeah.
He knocked up our grandma. That doesn't give you anything. I used to always think, because you watch movies and it's like, they're going over to Grandpa's house and it's like, Grandpa was fun. And
he's like, hey!
He'd let you cuss.
He tickles them and they're like playing. And,
yeah, he gives you candy and takes you fishing. And he like sees a hot girl and he makes some kind of, like sexist comment. And you get to like, you don't hear that when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
Unless you have a grandpa. So we never got any of that.
We never got to hear this.
But what I was going to say, remember when we were I was in high school, and it was back when we lived at that place where we used to always watch Third Rock, the show, Third Rock from the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, remember that time that movie, that VCR? We had a VCR, and sitting on top of it was a tape of a movie.
Okay.
And that movie started playing on the TV.
That was in the apartment, right?
Yeah, the apartment. Like when
that was when I was trying to do that splitter, so we watched the same thing on two TVs.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why. You can only look at one TV. Why do you have two? But yeah, it was sitting on the VCR on top, not in it, and it was playing. What was it?
I don't remember the movie, but just if you didn't understand, we had a VCR hooked up to our TV like normal.
Like it wasn't playing perfectly; it was faded.
It was staticky.
Like on the old way when you'd have it on channel 3, but you mean
You're
to have
supposed to have it on 4, yeah.
And it was like kind of staticky. It was playing the credits.
It was playing the credits of the movie that was sitting on top of the VCR, not in it.
That's insane.
Now, if that happened with a DVD, I could see because it's like lasers or something. I don't know, but like tape has to like run through and be projected.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that happened, and it wasn't like that movie just happened to be on TV either, because it was like it wasn't on a channel. It was on the channel for the VCR.
Anyways, right? That's the whole thing when we were watching movies.
Yeah. And it wasn't on a channel. It was on the VCR channel. And it was playing. So I was like, the fuck? So I checked in the VCR because maybe we had like the other tape of it or something. Mm. And there was nothing in the VCR. It was playing that tape like... Anybody listening might think we're crazy, but that really happened.
Well, they're just bored out their fucking mind. They're like, I've heard this 7 times already.
They're like, tell us a new story.
They're like, okay, Grandpa. But,
somebody in Romania is listening to us, and they're like, how do they talk in Romania? Like Dracula, right?
I don't know.
They're like, I want to hear the podcast. Is that how they talk, or is that just in movies?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess they speak English.
What? People always do it in that, you know what I mean? Because I want to talk to blood, right? And then they're like, I want to. It's always, I want to.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want to, right? We don't know how to say that.
Listen to the podcast.
All the Romanian or Transylvanian, whatever.
We have a weird number of downloads from Romania. It's not like one, like some guy accidentally clicked on it when he meant to click on like Romanian.
It's probably from Dracula.
I mean,
right? Dracula came to life, or woke up, right? He can only spend time during the night, right?
Which is a good time to listen to the
or stay in his house during the day, and you just gotta be away from the windows.
He has good blinds.
Or just really good sunblock.
Or maybe he just has like a lot of trees around. He doesn't get much direct. Because is it like if one little beam of light hits him, he's dead? I don't think so.
Yeah, he's like, ah!
I think it's more like he just can't get out, like, really out in the wild.
Well, anyways, so he's a podcaster.
No, he listens. Somebody listens. I don't know for sure if it's Dracula. I'm just saying,
You're not
like...
a podcaster if you listen to him?
No, you're a podcaster if you do it. You're a podcastee if you listen.
Podcasties?
I'm both.
Podcasties.
Podcasties? That sounds like an award.
Podcasties nuts, right? That's
That sounds like some kind of podcast award, like that you would win, like the Emmys.
Yeah.
Like we would never win one. Because here's the thing: if you're listening to this, you may not have picked up on it yet.
Because they always show a clip of the person, of the movie or whatever.
Well, we have
show.
clips that are like
right?
nice, right?
I hope not.
Sometimes we say nice things.
I hope there's not any spots that's like...
We're like, you know what I love? Helping orphans.
Like, remember when you were talking about the grandpa? They're like, we can use that.
Oh, yeah.
The grandpa, they're like...
That we didn't have.
We don't have a grandpa. Oh.
They could do that for like a sad, like, oh, moment. Yeah. Like, oh, look at these two guys.
Like, no, this isn't the Sad Vibe podcast. I think I've said that before on here, too.
Yeah, it is sometimes. We did talk about suicide, like, several times.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, anyway, that was what... I don't know what made me think of that, because me and my son... Well, I know what made me think of it, but me and my son, he was, like, wanting to watch some movie, right? You know how kids nowadays are so fucking spoiled? Like, they're more spoiled than they know. Like, he's like, Daddy, I want to watch a movie. And we have a bunch of Blu-rays and DVDs of movies he likes. And also we have a bunch of movies, like, DVR'd that are... It's like his little folder, right?
Yeah.
So he's so spoiled. He's like, Daddy, I want to watch a movie. I was like, all right.
Yeah, he's like 3. And
yeah, he's
has
3.
All the entertainment he needs.
More entertainment. He has more entertainment at his fingertips now than I had access to my entire childhood combined. But he's like, I want to watch a movie. And I was like, what do you want to watch? And he's like, I don't know. So he can't half-ass use the remote, but not really. So I'm sitting there flipping through the DVR, like going down page by page. And he stands right by the TV and points at stuff. So he pointed at one. It was the King Kong movie, Skull Island. And I was like, oh, you want to watch that? He's like, no, I was just showing you. And I was like, really?
It takes forever for them to find something.
And I had already clicked on it, so it was doing the little loading.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, all right. So we skimmed down. So anyway, I told him, I was like, look, buddy, I was like, do you know that when I was little, we couldn't just watch any movie that existed. Yeah. And he's like, you didn't have recorded movies? And I was like, no. I was like, we had to, and I was telling him, I said, me and Uncle Wiz, Uncle Wiz is what he calls Dwight. I was like, me and Uncle Wiz used to have to find tapes, and you put the tape in, and sometimes it eats it. He had no idea. He thought tape was like tape, like Scotch tape. Yeah. But I was explaining it to him, and that reminded me of the story.
They will make fun of it. The way we look at records,
yeah,
it will be how they,
Except it's different because when I was little, we listened to records. I don't think he's ever watched a movie on VCR. That's crazy. Maybe he has, but he didn't know it for sure.
He's like, oh, you can barely fucking see it.
Yeah, it's all like...
VCR, like when you watch them, you're like, fuck this. And we used to be like, oh yeah, let's watch it again. You know what I mean? Like, this is great.
Remember that one, what's the movie where, is it Basic Instinct where the girl shows her vagina?
Oh yeah, it was all like... blurred, like scratched out because it had been watched so many times.
It had been paused on the vagina so many times. When it got to that part of the movie, it skipped out. Like it fuzzed out.
It's got its own censorship in there because it played so much.
So that's the only time I've ever seen that movie is on that tape.
That's that movie's basic instinct is to blur it,
cover up her vagina. That actual tape is more ladylike and modest than Sharon Stone is, the actor. Isn't that who's in it? Sharon Stone? Mm-hmm. Sharon. That's a good name for a whore.
Sharon everything right there.
That's a good name for a whore. Sharon. Yeah. Like,
Sharon
imagine
Stones.
like you have a daughter. I don't have a daughter, but Dwight does. When you named her, was it in your mind, don't give her like a hoary or like sexy kind of name? Did that cross your mind at all?
Well, you got to think of like any name can be a whore name if the girl is.
But well, I guess what I mean more is like, were you super aware?
Like I didn't name her like Candy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I didn't.
Your sister.
But any like E sounding, you know what I mean, can be.
Well,
most of them are.
No, but what I'm saying is not so much a whore sounding.
Kimberly, Brittany,
but
Candy,
were you scared to
Carly,
name her a name
Carrie
of somebody you knew was a whore? You know what I mean?
You're like Heather. Yeah, that's okay. You know what I mean? There's just some
Heather.
Amanda.
Ugh.
You know what I mean?
Amanda's are...
Nicole. It's just...
I knew some hot Nicoles, but I don't... But what I'm saying is, like, okay, let's say your wife was like, here's a name for her, like, Lindsay, right? And you were like, well, I went to high school with a Lindsay that would have fucked everybody, so no. Yeah. Was it like that or no?
No. I've always liked that name, though.
Lindsay?
No. Hell no. Macy. We just had a listener that's named Lindsay, that's just not a listener no more.
I'm sure we have a listener named Lindsay.
There's a...
hopefully in Transylvania.
Macy. I liked Macy. There was a girl in school that I knew that was a grade behind me that it was some like tiny Mexican chick, and she was like cool, but she wasn't like a slut or nothing.
But if she would have been, would you have not named your daughter that?
I mean, I guess not. I mean, I guess that probably would play a factor.
Well, dude, my son, his name's Colin. His first name's Colin, and he is like, he's not named after Colin Quinn, but when
he's named after Colin Jost.
Yeah, no. I don't think I knew who he was when Colin was born. But when I came up with the name, and then I was thinking, like, all right, do I know any Collins? I didn't really personally know any Collins, but I was like, dude, Colin Quinn. They're like one of the greatest comedians.
Colin Farrell?
Yeah, I thought of that too. But
Isn't
Colin
like
Quinn is the one that I was like, hell yeah, Colin Quinn. That's like one of the greatest comedians of our time. So I was okay with it. And of course, his middle name's Achilles. And that was...
You're welcome.
You did come up with that.
Well, I didn't. I'm pretty sure a couple Greeks did.
Yeah.
But I mean...
me and Dwight half-ass named each other's sons.
Yeah. What's funny is yours is Colin, right? Yeah. Mine is Alexander, which Colin Farrell played Alexander.
Yeah.
Right?
And mine is Achilles, which was played by Brad Pitt in the movie. Somebody asked me one time, I was telling somebody that my son's name is Colin Achilles. Like, oh, it's badass. They're like, I just watched that movie, Troy. He's like, does your son look like Brad Pitt? And I was like...
You're like, well, he has blonde hair.
If he did look like Brad Pitt, it would be coincidence, because he definitely didn't when I gave him the name.
Yeah.
He wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
It would just be a coincidence. It's not like I saw my kid, he's like 12, I'm like, this motherfucker looks like Brad Pitt.
You're like, let's change his fucking name.
And then I'm thinking through names, I'm like, what was his name? And
we're like, why would we name him Brad Pitt? You know, there's already a guy named Brad Pitt. Let's name him about one of his characters he played.
Brad Pitt was lucky he was so good looking, because that is like a dumb, like that's a stupid
Brad
name. Pitt? I mean, he's named after an armpit.
Is that his real name, though?
I don't know.
You know how, like, they changed their name?
Yeah, but you wouldn't change your name to Brad. Brad's a fucking...
Maybe Brad was his name, and then, like, why would you change it to Pitt, then?
Is it Tom Cruise?
I would more likely change my name to Brad than I would my
What
last
was his name if Pitt was a better option?
It's like douche. Right? He's like, anything's better than the douche. So I was like, dude... So, I don't know.
His name was whatever the technical term is for that space between your thigh and your balls.
Yeah, it's gooch.
Like your leg pit. The one that like always stinks. I don't know, any girl... If you're a girl who's ever given a blowjob, I commend you.
Yeah.
To put your face that close to balls, especially, like, now that I'm grown, I'm clean-ish.
Yeah.
But any girl, like, girls blew you in high school. I don't think I barely washed myself. When I was in high school, I was dirty, dude. I would get off of football practice and, like, not take showers if I was in a hurry, and then go out and go, like, to a restaurant and eat. And it's just like...
Now, you get home from work, you're like, I want to take a shower, I feel sticky. Right? Back then, you're like, fuck it, right?
I'm like, yeah, I don't smell me.
Why would I wash off? I'm just going to get dirty tomorrow. Right? And then, that's why chicks don't like dudes in high school. That's
why there's more cases of grown men fucking high school girls than there are of grown women. Well, we talked about it before. We said, like, isn't it crazy that you always hear about female teachers fucking students and not males? Like, yeah, it happens at the same rate. It's just girls fuck little boys tell everybody. Yeah. Little girls know how to keep secrets.
Like I think last episode when we talked about this.
Oh, because we talked about your wife.
Yeah. Anyways, I said something like fucking Miss Jansen or something like that. I said Miss Jansen.
That's because that was one of your hot teachers. You think she listens?
No. I hope not.
I know.
Hey, Miss Jansen.
I know her daughters because...
they were tiny when I was in school.
One is in college now, dude.
That's crazy.
And the other one's a junior or senior in high school.
Fucking psycho, dude.
Yeah. The one that's younger is a lot
By the time my kids are graduating high school, hers will probably be in,
Trying to think. How old is yours?
junior high or something.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
A couple years behind.
Yeah,
You taking notes?
Yeah, kind of. If you could have fucked one teacher, that would have been her, you think? It would have been that one?
I mean, to think about it like that, I mean, I don't know.
Did you have a lot of hot teachers or no?
Mm-mm.
I didn't either. I had like one or two that were decent.
I mean, to think about it, she was like, yeah, probably so, I guess.
Dude, that reminds me. I know this like...
I think of her doing it because, like, we were, like, real cool, you know?
I know what she looks
I
like
could do
now.
whatever the fuck I wanted
She
in her
looks
class.
decent now for somebody in her 50s.
Because I had a heart attack. A tart attack.
A tart. You had one of those too. A fucking tart attack.
I had a heart attack.
You're like, brr.
I pissed off, like, 2 different groups of people right there, right?
I don't think heart attack people really get mad.
No, tards.
What's the other group?
No, I was just...
There's 2 groups of tards.
People that make fun of, like,
people.
kids with the illnesses or something.
I make fun of
I'm like,
everybody.
ha, right?
I'm definitely like... You gotta admit, though, as much as we've made jokes about, like, retarded people and stuff like that, when you have kids, you're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I hope karma's not real.
Oh, no.
I hope karma's not real.
Like,
we've made way too many jokes.
Your kid doesn't walk till 19 months, and you're like, it's my fault. You know, and then it's like, man, he can only say like 7 words, and he's 3. You're like, damn it, that's my fault. But then they get out of all that shit, you know?
But, you know...
He's been walking for years now, and he's 6.
If karma's real... You had to have that thought. I know when my son was being born, I was like, I've made so many, like, terrible jokes.
Yeah.
That if karma's real, it's coming to get me
And
now.
just like, somebody's gonna say the same shit.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's just, like... The thing is, though, you would... let's say, like, we say, like, oh, retarded kids or something like that. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't say that to a kid that's, like, special needs. You would say it behind his back. Like a good person.
Quietly. Just enough to where he might not be.
Or you just write it, you know? He ain't gonna figure that out.
Yeah, just... Yeah.
They can't read. Yeah.
They might, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm sure some of them can read. I mean,
when you say... some of them can read.
When you say retarded, like, unless you use, like, clinical terms, retarded covers... Everything from, like, a guy with a limp when in junior high, you've called him retarded, to, like...
Someone that's just acting stupid?
Yeah.
To Downsy.
I mean, I call my car retarded if it don't start. It's like, no, I'm retarded. I have that same battery in it for 9 years.
Right, or
you know?
Sputtering. Right?
Dude, do you remember when, like, when we were growing up our whole lives, Mom always would tell us...
Yeah, our whole life was growing up.
Yeah. And now I'm growing out more than up. Our mom would always tell us, because our mom was super into scary movies. And she would always tell us the scariest movie ever was, you remember it? Let's Scare Jessica to Death?
Let's Scare Jessica to Death, yes. Which came out in like 71, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking 71. Mom was 11 when it came out. Our mom was.
Yeah, so that's why it would have been scary to her.
But our mom watched every scary movie. She loved scary movies. She was super into them.
She told us not to watch it.
She said, don't watch it. It's too scary. It's like an evil movie. She's like, when I was a kid, I was terrified of it.
She had to get something else scared. You know
Do you think she was fucking with us? All right,
I hope so.
Here's to let you in on it.
That'd be fucking awesome.
As listeners, we'll let you in on it. This movie, we had grown up watching every scary movie with our mom from birth. We were watching like Children of the Corn.
Terrified. I was terrified.
Yeah, but our mom had no fear. She loved like horror movies. Mm-hmm. But she always said, Let's Scare Jessica to Death was so scary that it was like, she's like, you know how, she told me one time, she's like, you know how people talk about The Exorcist? How it was like too real at the time? She said The Exorcist wasn't scary to her, it was just a movie. But Let's Scare Jessica to Death terrified her. Mm-hmm. So we were just enthralled. We were like, we just gotta watch it. So after a couple of years after our mom died, somebody got a hold of it, either you or our sister.
My ex-girlfriend's mom found it somewhere.
Yeah.
They like ordered it online for like $3 or something like that.
So we were all excited. We're like, dude, we're going to watch the movie. You know, Mom's dead now, and we're going to watch the movie that she told us was like the whatever. So we watched it. It was the dumbest movie I've ever seen.
Horrible.
It didn't make any sense. It wasn't scary.
No, Dark Remains. Was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. But do you
think that was Mom's like one last...
That'd be awesome.
She's like, I'll show them. Fuck these guys. I'll act like it's the greatest scary movie of all time. And then when they watch it, they'll be like
she watched it. We were at a football game or something like that, and she's like, "I'm gonna tell them."
But she had told us that since we were little kids.
So you think for decades?
Do you think you think maybe she saw the director's cut and we saw the edited version or something? I mean, the movie was terrible. She described it. It sounded so good. I wish they would remake it.
But in the 70s, that's when scary movies were like coming out, and
like Halloween kicked off slasher movies in the
mid 70s.
Yeah, the late 70s.
So, and this was early 70s when they were still like getting away with or figuring out what they can get away with.
As far as I can remember, that movie was like vampire-ish.
What?
They were trying to convince a girl that she was. They were trying to scare a girl into losing her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Which is.
I remember they're by like a lake or something.
Yeah.
And then like they're.
I don't think I watched the whole movie.
I think like one person died in the whole movie.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And you're like, what?
We have a.
And it wasn't scary though. Like she's hiding or something.
We have a. Somebody that we often promote, the Grave Girls podcast. They should watch that movie and review it.
Yeah, after all of our reviews, we just gave it.
They're like,
but I don't know. People like to watch movies that suck, you know. And
I don't think it sucked in the right way to enjoy it that way.
Yeah, it's not like it was bad.
It didn't make any fucking sense.
It just wasn't. Yeah.
It was just dumb.
It wasn't like The Room or whatever.
What was the movie you said?
Dark Remains.
Dark Remains, yeah, that's a good movie.
It was cheap, but it wasn't cheaply made.
Have you seen it recently?
Nobody famous is in it, so you don't know who's going to live, who's not. That's what's bad about scary movies.
I don't think they should ever have famous people in them.
Because when there's a scary movie with the famous person in it, they're either dead first, or they live through the whole thing. So if you make it like 20 minutes in the movie, they gotta stay alive.
Did you see The Quiet Place? A Quiet Place?
Yes.
Fucking Jim from The Office?
Yeah, that one's different than some movies.
His dumb deaf daughter. Meh. It was dumb. Actually, I liked the movie.
Yeah, the movie was good.
I liked the movie because, first of all, I had some problems with it. They're growing corn. How are they quietly harvesting corn? Have you ever heard corn being dumped into a silo? You can hear it for miles.
Can't just do it yourself?
Those silos were full. That means they had to be filled with conveyor belts. There's no way. Anyway, I get it. Whatever. Maybe they had the corn and then the bad guys came or what. I don't know. But
well, I mean, those people aren't very old. If the thing was full and just a handful of people were eating corn,
just leave it full.
How you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But corn was growing. New corn that had been planted maybe 2 months before.
2 months.
Maybe. It was green still. Maybe. I know too much about corn farming to watch a movie.
Yeah.
It's like Children of the Corn.
John Krasinski didn't look that much into it.
He was too busy flirting with Pam instead of working.
How they put sand everywhere, we can't talk too much about it.
Why?
What? Spoiler alert.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll get out of the scary movie discussion. We'll leave that to the grave.
Fuck all that. Let's keep talking about fucking scary movies.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Really? Scream actually was not a scary movie, but it's
a good movie.
It was pretty well put together.
It's a generational thing. Like if you're our age,
it's a scary movie.
If you're our age, right? You were into it.
Or I call it Scream.
People say scary movie, but it's horror movie. Yeah. Movies typically don't
aren't scary movies. Yeah.
If you're an adult.
What is it? Strangers. Strangers was good. Movie. That's a good horror movie. Strangers 2, no.
I think I have like a problem with my accent when I say horror. It sounds like I'm saying horror.
Horror movies.
Horror movie. I like horror movies.
Yeah.
Like Porky's. You ever see that?
Horror movies. But no, they. I don't know. I like any movies.
Dude, speaking of horror movies, when I was like in my early 20s, I took a girl on a date to go see Slumdog Millionaire. It was the first date, and I fell asleep, and I was snoring.
Slumdog Millionaire.
I was in there watching, and I was like into it, but I was tired.
I like that movie.
My head. I remember at one point I woke up, and my head was on her shoulder. A person I barely knew.
It came out in like 07, right?
Probably.
I think it was around 07. I'm pretty fucking good at that.
You're good at what?
Guessing the date of when something came out.
I thought you meant falling asleep in movies.
You know what I mean? Like anything from like late 80s, 90s to like, of course current. You know what I mean?
I always just guess 1991. A lot of movies that I like came out in 1991.
I'm all like, oh, Ready Player One, that came out in like, what, 2018? Right?
It's
of
weird.
course you'd be able to get that kind of shit.
But it's weird to guess a movie. Like, there's movies that you consider fairly new, like The Departed.
Mm-hmm.
I think of that as like a fairly new movie. Motherfucker's 12 years old.
Yeah, came out in 06.
If you were born when that movie came out, like...
So did Blood Diamond.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
He did both of those.
Yeah, those are two really good movies.
And then what, he had... I always get confused, though. I can't remember if... which one was it?
Which one?
You know, where Inception. That came out in 10 or 11? Because I think it came out in 11, right?
I mean,
because in 10, the other one came out.
I know that's not a popular opinion, but I didn't like it.
Inception?
Yeah.
I liked it. What about the one where he's on that fucking island?
Shutter Island?
Yeah.
I read the book right before I saw the movie. So I didn't get any kind of... But when I read the book, I read the last couple of pages like 10 times trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. I was like, wait a minute. It describes him sitting there and then he sees them taking somebody into the thing. And it's like he saw a shiny glimmer come from the... So they're taking like metal tools in there to cut the guy's head open or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, so what does that mean? And I went back and I read it again and I was like, hold on. Is he crazy or is he not? And I went back and read it. And then finally, after a few times of reading it, I was like, okay. And I was like, wait a minute. And I read it again.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, does he know that he's crazy or is he still acting like he's not? Or does he still think he's not?
Yeah.
And he still thinks it's all conspiracy. So then when he's walking away at the end and he's like giving like a look, you're like, is he crazy?
Yeah.
You're like, does he know where they're taking him?
It doesn't...
Is he like, think he's like getting in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because he wanted to get in that building.
But it also kind of lets you choose your own adventure a little bit. All movies.
Because then, like, you find the cave or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
That has that, like, old doctor in there.
Yeah.
And you're like, is he just imagining this?
I kind of don't like when movies do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like, because then you're playing with no...
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
You can do whatever you want. You can just do... It's like Roseanne. At the last season, they won the lottery. And then the very last episode, it's like, well, I just wrote all that because I was sad about that. It's like, you can't just... You can do whatever you want. Like, artistic choices are yours. But it's too easy.
Unless you're racist and then you get kicked off your own show.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I say about Roseanne being racist. Like, I mean, she's probably as racist as like a 60-something-year-old woman, but I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. But what I think it is that if you're ABC and you're like, oh, we're going to start this show with Roseanne, you know two things. It's probably going to be good and popular, and Roseanne is probably going to say some outrageous shit. She says crazy shit all the time. That's what she's known for. I remember when
you're going to control her?
I know, and that's what you want. The reason you want Roseanne is for her crazy mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can pick any fucking dude that like works at the bank and make a show about him if you want somebody that's not going to do anything crazy. Mm-hmm. That's easy.
If anything, it's going to grab more attention to your show. And the people that hate her for being racist are going to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they fucked up, I think. I mean, I think it's
the
obvious.
The show is just canceled or they're continued?
No, they're doing a different show with everybody but her.
Like, pretty much the same thing.
I think they're going to call it the Connors.
I hope they don't bring... Is it going to be as if she died and they won the lottery?
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're going to do that she died or something. They need to do... What they need to do, if they're fucking smart, is they won't kill her, but they'll make her be somewhere. That way, if everybody gets fucking smart and they like, let's bring Roseanne back, if she'd even do it. She doesn't need money. She might tell them to go fuck themselves if they try to bring her back.
Everybody's going to be on the show except...
Yeah.
The one dude is, like, they're about to finish Big Bang Theory. They only got, like, one more season left. So
they've been doing that shit for a long fucking time.
13 years, I think.
Something crazy like that.
I've never even seen a full season.
But have they been doing it for that many years? Or
No.
Multiple seasons?
They do, like, a...
they weren't doing that shit when you were in high school.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They do, like, a...
Like 2 seasons per year, probably.
It's less than that. It's like 2 every year and a half or something like that. You know what I mean? They take a break.
Yeah.
Because it's not like only between like January and June the show is, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Thought I heard a bass drum going out there. Hey, oh yeah, if you're listening to this, We'd like some feedback. The audio, I think, is way better. I'd like to know what you people think.
They're like, I hear a lot of crickets.
Yeah. Crickets in place of laughter.
Yeah.
But, dude, do you remember, you probably didn't. Did you ever wear, like, saggy pants? Like, ever? Did you ever, like, because I remember probably junior high was when it was real popular. Mm-hmm. And I did a few times, like, when, I would,
only
like,
if I didn't bring a belt.
I would stay at somebody's house and be like...
It's never a fashion statement.
Nice clothes. But anyway, I went to this fucking church camp when I was I was probably like 13 or 14. And I wasn't like I definitely wasn't like an atheist, but I definitely didn't believe in any of it. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know. I think we've talked about it before.
You didn't believe in belts either, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I wasn't wearing baggy pants. But there were these like kids. There's this weird thing. If you're a church person, there's this weird thing where there's a kind of like church cool guy, and they're like badasses but churchy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to describe them.
Like he says, darn.
Yeah, like they're like rebellious, but within the restraints of Christianity.
He's usually the drummer.
Yeah.
Right?
They're rebellious.
Or he's a guitar guy or something.
So they're like, man, and they have like a real alternative looking girlfriend that they either don't fuck. They probably fuck them, but they like say they don't. Mm-hmm. There's no way some girl with like a septum piercing isn't fucking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you have, I'm sure a lot of our listeners have like that septum piercing.
Yeah, and they're not virgins.
And yeah, it's nothing against you. I'm just saying you. I don't think that in the order of life is like get that and then have sex. I think it goes the other way. Yeah. But anyway, there was a bunch of these kids, and they were like the kind of kids that are into music that the guy screams instead of sings. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, like Korn or something. I don't know if Korn's right, but anyway, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know Korn or
with a capital K. I get it.
With a backwards K.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or backwards R. How can you do that? Like,
is it a backwards R?
It's either.
Someone's like, yes, it's a backwards R. Or someone's pissed off.
It's
that way, right?
They're like, how do you spell Korn? They're like, it's backwards K-O-R-N. You gotta spell it
while like banging their head, you know.
But. Anyway, those kind of kids that were into that were like real prevalent at this.
Is that still popular music?
Korn, I'm sure.
No, I mean yelling into.
I think so. What is it called though? That's not heavy metal, right? I'm so musically illiterate. Anybody listen to this that likes the kind of music we're making fun of? If you're like, man, fuck you. Trust me, the music I like is terrible.
Why do they call it metal anyways?
I don't know where like the idea of metal music came from.
Yeah.
Because here's what I thought when I was a kid. I thought like there was country music.
Techno. It sounds like, you know what I mean?
Technical. It's like beats made on a computer.
I get that, and then I get acoustic.
Rap. I get that. Because black people would say like, let's rap and like go back and forth.
Yeah.
I get that. Acoustic is just a technical term for, you know, the room that we're in has acoustics. You know. Yeah. I get that. Rap, heavy metal, rock and roll is a dumb one.
Yeah, it is.
But it came from
You're like, no, it's not, man. Right?
Yeah, but is there even rock and roll music anymore?
No. It's all fucking pop. There's just country pop. And there's rock pop.
Well, there's music that isn't pop. But what's on the radio? Are there any radio stations that play, like, what is rock and roll now? Like, I'm going to sound old, but, like, what is the equivalent of, like, Pearl Jam? That's, like, a young band.
Pearl Jam, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's gay. That's a gay name.
No, it's talking about jizz, right?
Yeah, I know, but that's a... Yeah, see?
Yeah, but they're from, like... Dude, if you ever look into,
Pearl Jam. Every time I hear that, I think of Space Jam. You know what I mean? Am I, is that from the same time period?
No. Well, Pearl Jam was, like, early 90s, I guess, is when they became... Because they're, like... It's like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. They all came from up there, like Seattle.
Nirvana, now that's cool.
But see, they're all the same shit.
That just sounds like a cool name, too.
You know what the names he almost named that band? One was Whisker Biscuit, which is like a euphemism for a pussy. Mm-hmm. And there was another one, like Snot Rockets or something.
There's a guy that I know that wants to name his daughter Chlamydia.
No.
He said he thinks that's a really pretty name.
No.
He doesn't have a daughter.
You're lying, right?
No. He thinks that's like a really pretty name.
Does he get that that's an STD?
Yes.
What?
But he just says...
How did you not bring this up when we're talking about whore names for daughters?
Well, I mean...
Maybe, so guys be like, don't fuck chlamydia, just in case.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely don't want to fuck the girl named chlamydia. Right? Maybe that's why he wants to name her that, so people don't fuck her. But you want people to fuck your daughter eventually. You may, you don't want your daughter to die a virgin.
You don't want people to.
What do you want, dogs to fuck
No,
her?
I mean, like, people means more than one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, dads of daughters are always like, they're like, I don't want anybody fucking my daughter. It's like, I get, you don't want to, like, imagine somebody fucking your daughter, but you also don't want your daughter to be a lonely, like, old maid and die a virgin at 68. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you do want your daughter to have
68, that's young.
Well.
Right? I want her to die to be a virgin at, like, 100 and something, right?
But you do want your daughter to have sex. Not now, I know.
That's very weird to think of because she's 3.
But I'm saying...
You're like, but she's almost 4. Right? But I mean...
But what I'm saying is when she's 19, 20, 25, 30, whatever, people always... I know people that, like, their daughter's in high school, and they're like, she's going to prom, and like, I got a gun. If that guy tried... It's like, I get that you don't want to see it, you don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, it's just prom. She's probably already done it.
You think so?
No, not her.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, when you have a high school... Like, when do you think the average, like...
15.
15?
Yeah.
If you're not ugly... Like a real huge fat girl maybe takes... Or maybe she gets fucked quicker.
Well, yeah, she's got to, like, prove
Do you ever
it.
look back on it in high school? Like, I could have fucked all those ugly girls.
Yeah.
Like, I could have just ran... Like, I could have fucked all the ugly ones, a good number
They
of
don't have friends, so it's not like anyone's going to believe them.
I know.
They don't have anyone to tell.
If I could go back to high school, I could have fucked all the ugly girls in school. A good number of, like, normal-looking ones, and I probably would have snagged a hot one or two if I would have just had some confidence.
Oh, yeah, you fuck all these ugly ones and then work your way up the ladder.
You get some confidence.
Right?
Like, dude,
and then eventually...
90% of the girls in the class. They're all ugly, but I fucked them.
And then, and we got the teacher, right? I mean...
But if you could go back to high school and be, like, and have your mind that you have now.
Damn. Man.
Like, just knowing what you know about... Because, you know, what you know now, like, when you were in high school, you just assume...
One thing, you could lose weight, gain, whatever, right? So easy when you're a kid.
Just don't eat bread for 2 weeks, you lose 40 pounds.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, when I had the heart attack when I was 17, like, I did hardly anything. I just played some basketball. I ate bad. Played basketball and I lost, like, 40-something pounds.
But if you could go back with your mind...
They're like, how fat were you? I mean, I was fat, but...
But wouldn't you... Would you... Do you think you would, like, fuck all the... Because as you get older, your idea of what's pretty change. Like, you know, you ever see a girl, somebody's like, man, she doesn't look bad. But you realize you at 16 would have not even looked at her.
Yeah.
So if you go back to high school, I guess it'd be kind of weird. You'd be fucking like...
Well, for one thing, you would have thought of that as an old person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's like a girl's like 20-something, you know, and you're like, she's so young.
Yeah.
Right? And then back then you'd have been like, she's so old.
Yeah.
What is she, in college?
I think if when I was in high school, a 20-year-old, I would have been like, damn, she's hot. But I would have definitely not even talked to her. Like, she doesn't want to fuck me, for sure.
Yeah. Then now you're like, she doesn't want to fuck me.
Yeah.
Sure.
I missed my window. Now I have, like, the wherewithal to know what's going on. And back then I was, like, young enough to...
I missed mine whenever I lost all that weight, had a sports car and all that, and then I was making money, and then, like...
Got married.
It was...
You should have just not got married.
Right?
I mean, you kind of hit a home run, though. Your wife lets you do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. You have, like, you know, good kids and all that. Like, that's what's I'm jealous of in your life, is that your wife, like, you can just tell your wife, like, hey, me and Jim are going to go. She's like, where y'all going? You're like, yeah, we're going to go, you know, just drink and hang out, maybe fuck some girls. She's like, all right, have fun.
Yeah, right.
Like, she doesn't care what you do at all.
Whatever. She just, you know, she knows I work real hard.
Yeah. Work real hard on, like... Yeah, I guess that's what it takes, is you have to have a wife that has, like, the, I don't know what the word is. She's like, that's the common sense to realize that, like... Because a lot of women don't. They're too pushy. Mm-hmm. And they don't realize they're, like, pushing you away. Mm-hmm. Your wife seems to understand, like... I don't know. She's pretty fucking cool. You got lucky. You could have knocked up a lot of people.
Any one of her sisters would have been a whole lot different.
Yeah, you should have picked the hot one, though.
No, she's got 3 sisters that they're all different, like, avenues. All 4 of them are different ways. And, yeah, I got the good one. She's cheap. Yeah. She don't like to go shop. Well, she likes to go shopping, but she's so cheap with stuff.
You don't
like that. You know what I mean? Well, no. I mean, fuck. I tell her, I was like, look, we want a house. We have a house, but I was like, we want to keep our house.
Yeah.
We want, we got 3 vehicles. I was like, we want to keep all that stuff.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have that if we went out and bought fucking clothes all the time.
Yeah.
We went out to eat every single day.
Every day.
You can't afford life stuff with that.
The way to do it really is, I guess if I was single, you know how cheap my life would be if it was just me?
Oh, fuck, dude. If it was just me making the money I do right now,
yeah,
I would go every vacation. I would fly far away. I'd go do stuff. You know what I mean? I'd go on vacations. Like lonely vacations. What?
This is the thought that guys have right before they murder their wives.
Where's that screwdriver? But no, for real though, like it's just it's not. I'm not saying that it's because I got kids. That's the expensive part.
Yeah.
And then also like you want to go do something, but you can't because you got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. So you got to have a babysitter for what, a week? You know what I mean?
What I do is my son goes where I go.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating and it's sometimes tiring and it's like sometimes like you don't get to enjoy something quite as much, but in another way you enjoy things more because you enjoy them through the eyes of a kid.
They're doing everything for the first time.
Like if you go to Chuck E. Cheese, like it's shitty.
That is their fucking like world.
But it's amazing to them, and you get to enjoy it through their mind because you're there and you're like, all right, it's shit pizza and boring games. Yeah. But his eyes get so big, and he's like, it's like
they don't even have to be playing a game; they just be looking at the game.
Oh, dude, my son's 3. There's a Batman game at the Mr. Gaddy's, which is like Chuck E. Cheese. He just sits in and he thinks he's playing it. You don't fucking know. Yeah. It's just flashing on the screen like, put coins in now. Yeah. And he's like, Daddy, look, I'm doing it. He's kind of starting to catch on to that,
he's
though.
Like, when I move right, it ain't. But,
he's definitely spent hours playing that Batman
He picks up the gun and he's like shooting Terminator stuff, and it's like, why ain't it shooting him?
Yeah.
Those games are fun, but dude, they're just designed to just rob you from
75 cents to play. You play for about a minute or two, and then you got to put another 75 cents in.
Or even if you just got to put another quarter every time. Every little checkpoint or whatever you get at, you know what I mean?
And then you have a stack of tickets, and you think you're the man, and you go turn them in for like nothing.
Yeah.
You could have bought what you turned those tickets in for $1 or $2.
We went to a birthday party to Chuck E. Cheese that a friend of mine had for his kid. And he gave us unlimited cards, a 2-hour unlimited tokens or whatever.
Dude.
It's a card that you like swipe. Most of the new ones are cards; they don't go by coins no more.
Yeah,
because you can take the coins home. You know, that's worth more than the shit that you're getting with the. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can probably seriously take that scrap metal and get money for it. It'd be worth more than whatever that fucking little like 5-cent toy you get that you spent 4,000 tickets on.
We've been saving up tickets. We have
we got some saved.
We have a couple thousand tickets saved up.
To
Mr.
Geddes? Yeah, we got some too. We even got some coins left over because last time we were bored and ready to go, we just left kept them.
Dude, next time you go there, you got to play the monkey game.
Yeah, where you got to like the monkey
catch them.
And you gotta catch them. Yeah, you get a lot whenever you get them. You don't get shit if you get to the last one, but that's the best one. I just kneel down and I get there and you tap it right when it's gonna. Yeah.
But anyway,
see, we got those unlimited cards where you just swipe it every time you want to play your game. But what he did was no one showed up to the party.
So you got a bunch of unlimited cards?
He gave us like 5 or 6 unlimited cards.
Dude.
It doesn't start until the first time you swipe it.
So you could keep them?
We stayed there for like 6 hours.
You run one out, then you run another one out.
Well, what happened was we started one each, right? Me and Crystal both started one, and we were playing with the kids some games, and then I would just take over on a game, and she took the kids around.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get a bunch of tickets. We did a operation game. It's a huge operation game. Yeah, but the holes are so big, and if you get it just right, you get shit ton of fucking.
I think
I emptied the ticket machine.
Somebody told me about that.
Completely emptied.
Really?
Yeah,
like might have been you that told me.
I had to go tell someone. He had to come fill it back up. So, anyways, we ended up getting them both shirts, basketballs, and some toys. Like they got some good shit. We had 7,000 something points or something like that.
Is that tickets?
Yeah, tickets. Yeah.
God.
It was crazy how much we had.
I think we have right now about 3,000 tickets.
I was like, what do y'all want? People behind us in line were so pissed. I mean, I was like, let's just get big shit. Why are we going to get a shit ton of this little stuff?
Yeah.
It's all trash.
Yeah.
I was like, so we got them both the basketball, both the shirt. I think he got a hat.
We're saving up for something.
It was
I don't remember.
crazy.
Something my son wants
They have
there.
good stuff at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I haven't been there
Just
yet.
not pizza. I mean, it's decent. But you know, like when pizza's cheap and it tastes soapy?
Yeah, it's always
like,
soapy.
Like not Little Caesars. What was it? CC's.
Oh.
CC's was...
I love CC's, though.
Yeah,
They say it's better now.
It's tiny little
I think
slivers
it's a
of
gourmet
pizza.
on the side.
Or you just got to get like 50 on one plate.
We used to have, when
little
we were kids, we used to go to CC's. That was back when it was $2.99 for the buffet.
It's $3.99 now, I think.
I think it's, yeah, maybe.
Or $4.99.
It might have been $1.99 then. It's gone up a few dollars.
That was 15, 20 years ago now.
So,
20 years ago at least.
Yeah, we would go. It would be like me, Dwight, and like 3 of our cousins, and then like parents would bring us. Yeah. And we would have pizza eating contests.
I was tiny.
So we would team up. It would be like me and one cousin against 2 other cousins. And I'm talking like we put up numbers that... We put up Babe Ruth numbers.
If I
eat
was
like 40 pieces of pizza each.
If I was like 9 or 10, you were 13 or 14.
I was eating a lot.
You're eating a lot, and I was just like, I was there for the games.
Yeah, you would eat like 6 pieces of pizza.
That's what sucks when you take a kid.
Because the pizza's $1.99. The games, you spend more than that in 2 minutes.
No, I mean now though, pizza places, like, except for CC's, is the cheapest thing.
Yeah.
You go to like Mr. Getty's or the rat one. What did I say earlier? Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
They're like expensive. And they know the kids aren't fucking eating.
Just lie about your kid's age.
But the adults are high too, or even higher.
Because if they're under 2, it's free, I think. But my son is a big 3.
Yeah.
He looks like he's 4.5.
Yeah.
So we're definitely not convincing anybody he's 2.
Most people, when they're like, because Macy, just recently we stopped being able to say she's 2.
Yeah.
I mean, she's thick and heavy, but I mean, not like.
She could pass. If you brought my son and your daughter somewhere and you're like, hey, one of them's 2, they're definitely going to think her. My son looks like he could be in junior high. He's fucking huge.
No, they're like the same size. He's just thick.
Yeah, they're about the same height. Every time I measure them, she's a little taller and then he's a little taller.
She's like what, 2 months, 3 months over here?
Yeah, like 3 months, yeah.
But,
my son wants to do a podcast so bad.
He wants to come in here and record?
Yeah, he's like, you and Uncle Wiz going to record? And his eyes light up, and I'm like, yeah. He's like...
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah, it would suck. But remember we let him one time do like a sound check?
Yeah.
And we just like let him talk into the mic for a little bit, and then we listened back. And he heard himself back. And he has this like... He's a natural performer. He loves to perform. He's real sensitive. He's like an artistic type. Mm-hmm. For his big, and he loves football, and he seems like a football player, he's a real artsy kid. So when he saw that he made little jokes, and I explained to him what happens here. I was like, yeah, people all over the world listen to us and they hear our jokes.
Literally.
Yeah.
Romania.
So now every time he's like, he sees me like leaving the house and he's like, are you going to Uncle Wiz to record?
Every time you leave the house?
I mean,
I fucking wish.
Yeah, I know.
I wish we could record that much.
Well, he thinks we do. If I ever want to like sneak out and go do something, like I gotta go record because he knows he can't go.
Uh-huh.
Like, I gotta go record, buddy, sorry. Meanwhile, I'm finding his new mom.
Really?
Yeah. Good luck with that. But, dude, we have, our listenership is growing, right?
Okay.
Like, little by little, we're getting, like, more and more and more listeners. And I was like, you know what? I used to have this real, like, not ashamed, but it was like, I'd be surprised if somebody listened. Like,
yeah, when we first started.
We didn't think people would ever listen.
Yeah.
We were just like, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 guys will hear it, right? Well, now I'm thinking, you know what? Fuck them. If you're not listening to this, you're a faggot.
Yeah.
And I'll go one further. I can say that with confidence because everybody that hears it is a faggot.
There's probably plenty of people that are gay that aren't.
Yeah, and if you're listening to it and you are gay, I'm not talking about you. You're one of our gays.
Yeah.
But I mean faggot in the more traditional sense. You're, like, weak-minded.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you're a vibrator.
Yeah, right? If you're listening to this, you're a vibrator. And if you're not, you probably use one.
The bad vibrators.
Yeah. But I thought that was...
bad? I guess they're... one of those girls with a horror name would be able to tell that.
A bad vibrator? I mean, there are... Shit.
If there's something good, right, it points out...
There are better vibrators.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If something is labeled as good, that means something isn't that...
Like, a phone is
it's
a bad
better than
vibrator.
something else.
It's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I wish that we had something like... I wish that I could just have something vibrate touching me and I'll just, like, lose my mind like chicks do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what, you know those chairs...
They freak out.
That in the mall that vibrate they sit on? Can they sit on those just
Dude, I was at the airport last time I flew, I think it was the last time I flew to Ohio. I was flying out of Houston. Bush. Really? Right? Anyways, I was flying out of Bush. And,
that's so funny.
And there was a dude and a chick sitting in those chairs, like the big, huge, expensive, fancy ones you swipe your credit card on.
They got them at TA now.
And, yeah, I know. But,
yeah.
Anyways, so, they were sitting there, and he's like staring at her. Like his chair wasn't doing nothing. He was just sitting in the one next to her.
Yeah.
And she was like moving like crazy, dude. Like her
so
head,
it does. So that answers my
and,
question.
And she would like lift her legs and her arch her back, and I was like, either she's acting like this,
it didn't look like she was like faking,
or like kind of, but it was like continuous. And he wasn't even smiling. Eventually, he was just sitting there with his phone out, and she kept doing the same fucking things.
So she was like getting off.
I guess so.
And it was perfectly okay. If you were sitting there jerking off,
thousands of people. We're talking about
international airport.
One of the IAH or whatever it is, international whatever it is. But yeah, it was thousands of people are walking by there constantly.
But it was okay. Was she hot though?
I mean, I guess.
Like decent. She wasn't ugly, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, she wasn't ugly.
But so that's why it was okay. Yeah. If you were sitting there getting off, sitting on a chair, they would call the fucking cops.
Oh, yeah. TSAs would be grabbing me, pulling away.
But also, a woman, like, orgasm looks like a artistic thing of beauty. A dude looks violent. It's
a dude looks like it looks like he's dying.
Yeah, right? Or killing. It's like, he's like, and then a girl, but... If you've been in like a long-term relationship, and like a girl's not trying to,
the real stuff,
yeah, she's not trying to be sexy. There's very little difference in a girl that's, let's say you've been with a girl for several years. There's very little difference in her like orgasm and taking a shit face, like a hard shit. She's like, it's like you're trying to accomplish something,
like focusing,
and
then
yeah, exactly. But a girl that you don't know,
it's like a constipated girl.
A girl that's like watched a lot of porn.
As if like your wife, you've been married a long time, and she has diarrhea. Oh. No, constipated.
Yeah,
it's got to be constipated. When you're trying to push and it's hurting,
you're trying to accomplish.
It's gonna pull my intestines out.
Yeah,
you're like, I've heard about this.
Yeah,
and you're like, then it finally comes out, and it is the best feeling.
And it's like,
you're like. Okay.
That's what a girl orgasm who is like not trying to impress you is
I think
like.
It's a baby. Right? When they have a baby coming out.
That's different.
It's like they're trying to push and they can't come out. Push and can't come out, and then it comes out and they're like, okay, good. We're never having another one. Right?
You know how they always say like, well, if men could have babies, then whatever, like abortion would be legal or whatever, all that stuff. And it's like, I don't know about like men in general, but if I could have a baby, I would just play it safe and never have sex. I'd be so scared I'm going to be pregnant.
A person's going to be...
I would be sucking
how terrifying
so much dick.
Alien is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course that's a little fucking face hugger or whatever, you know what I mean? that's how chicks got to feel anyways.
I would be... If I was a girl or whatever, if I could get pregnant, I would suck so much dick. My ass... I wouldn't even let them fuck me in the ass. It's too close. I'd be too scared.
Just so you know they won't...
Just to be sure. I'd be really good at blowing dudes. So that, because I would be I can't believe they even chance it.
If there are
I would
gays
never chance
this,
getting
they
pregnant.
Love this talk.
If there's who?
If there are gays
But I'm just saying, like, I've said that to girls.
We try to talk to go to every atmosphere out there, right?
I mean, I'm sure we have some gay listeners. It would be funny if we were just like only gay listeners. Like
somehow when I posted this, it only goes to what is it? You know how there's like singles sites and stuff like that, but there's like there's like Judate or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it goes.
You post on like Grindr or something.
Yeah, whatever this would go to.
I think that
we clearly aren't gay. I don't know what the gay sites are.
Yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't mind having a gay following because gay people are the most financially like secure people in America. Gay people are always killing it. Like I got a friend that I went to
school. They're always like donating and everything too, though, right?
Yeah, because they don't have kids for the most part. Think about it. Men tend to have jobs that pay more, right? So imagine if you and another dude just like you lived together. Y'all would be making so much money.
Yeah, and we that wouldn't be good though.
I mean, the sex would suck, but you know.
No, I mean like Yeah, that'd be horrible, dude. Another me?
No, I'm just saying another earner at your.
Oh, okay.
Somebody that's a
Oh,
job.
hell yeah, dude.
Not somebody that's
like,
fucking
let's say
retarded,
just me and you were bachelors like we used to do, but we made the money we do now.
Yeah, we'd be rich.
Holy shit. If I could help you manage your money,
yeah, because
and I made mine,
I'm shitty at it.
You know what I mean?
But, so that's why my friend...
Bad vibe would be huge.
Yeah. But my friend that I went to school with, like, my whole life growing up, he's like, gay. He was gay then, but he didn't tell anybody. But you could tell.
So he's light gay? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's super gay, but he used to be... I don't know, like, we would all be hanging out in the back of the bus, like, making jokes and, like, throwing spitballs, and he would be sitting with the girls, like, helping them do their hair. You know what I mean? When we were little kids.
Well, there's always those dudes in school that you're like, is he gay? Or was he just really trying to get in there?
Well, no, with him,
you know what I mean?
I knew since we were in, like, first grade, I knew he was gay before I knew that gay was a thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I knew he was gay before I even knew that I liked girls.
You're like,
like he was real effeminate.
You knew he was like girls, even though he's a boy.
Yeah, and exactly.
Eventually, yeah.
Well, anyway, that dude now...
You didn't even know really the difference yet, except they had long hair and wore dresses.
And he, like, dressed like us, but, like, you could just... And it wasn't even a negative thing. Like, I never... Even... Like, I went to a really small, like, country school where it was, like... You know, racist and all that shit.
Like, it sounds like it.
Yeah, but I would never, with him, like, we just all knew, like, that's just Thomas, you know?
It was a racist school?
I mean, yeah.
So, do y'all have racist Mickey there?
Racist Mickey? Racist Mickey Mouse? No, he didn't go to that school. But anyway, that guy, Thomas, who I was, like, friends with or whatever, now he's, like, a real estate guy, and he has, like, a boyfriend or husband or whatever, that I don't know what he does, but dude, these motherfuckers are rich.
Yeah.
They're the richest people that I, like, know well. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, like, they show their house, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like off of Cribs?
Yes, that's what it's like. They live in downtown Houston, like, dude.
I see some people I went to school with that are, that I have on Facebook, and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Are they gay or no?
No, just people in general. I'm just like, damn it.
Oh, they got, like, money?
They're all like, look at that, first, it said something like, you know how like when people get their first home, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, new homeowners or first home, right? This was like, our first home that's something. You know what I mean? I was like, it's their second one. You know what I mean?
Our first home that's white or whatever.
It's our first home in our whatever. You know what I mean? I can't remember how they named it. But I was like, I remember them